All right, Wayne, the lineup for Saturday night, what have you gone for? What sort of mix?
Oh, yeah, just a mix. I mean, obviously we're not playing against NRL players, so I wanted to just balance it a little bit from our point of view. I've got a number of players that haven't played in the NRL myself in the team. We've got a few NRL players, so yeah, just trying to make it a balance so we can make it a really good game of football.
Those guys that are playing the NRL experience, what are you hoping for from them?
They'll just provide the leadership out there and make sure we stay on track and play the football we know we're capable of playing, because it is about entertaining the crowd here on Saturday night as much as anything else. So we're not playing for 2 competition points or anything like that. It is an exhibition match, and it's important to Indigenous people, and it's important to us. And so if we can get a good mix and they play with their skill and we play with ours, I think it'll be a great game of football.
And a great chance for some of those younger players that you've picked to show what they can do.
Yeah, of course. But they're doing that at training with me at the moment a fair bit. So, but they need to be tested now into some competition. So it's a good opportunity for them.
Tell us about your decision to pick Tyrone Roberts as captain.
Well, Tyrone is a pretty outstanding young man. Obviously, he's Indigenous, and I wanted to reward him. I knew it would mean a lot to him. Not that it wouldn't mean a lot to other boys either, but to him particularly. And he's outstanding at training. He's been leading the way all pre-season, and I think he's got a wonderful future in front of him. And I know how much it means to him personally about his people, as they call themselves, and the role and responsibility he takes with being an Indigenous boy, knowing that they're all looking at him. So they were the type of things going through my head. Make the decision.
Do you have a set plan how much time does Lauren and some of your regulars will actually play this week?
Well, that'll be determined how good we're doing the job. If we're playing well and it's all flowing and not too much drama, I'll probably get them off. If we're struggling a bit, I'll probably have to keep them on there a little bit longer.
Have you had much of a look at the players in the Goannas team? Is there anything?
Well, they just announced Nathan Blacklock, so I've got to assume he's about well into his 40s now. But I saw him play about 3 years ago when the floods were on in Queensland, and the Dragons, when I was at the Dragons, we went up there for an exhibition game in Warwick, and with some other ex-Dragons players, and Nathan turned up and he still had the gift, he still had the magic. And Peachy, of course, was a wonderful player in the NRL as well, so I mean, I suppose if Freddie can play, they're probably thinking they can another game in him as well. So.
Obviously, Laurie said that he's seen a lot of skill in just the couple of days he's been in camp with the boys. I guess you're expecting also them not to hold back in defence either. They're going to be hard there as well.
The great majority of Indigenous boys have a great level of skill. They play with a freedom of spirit that a lot of other boys don't play with, and if it doesn't get coached out of them, then that's what they bring, and that's what I'm hoping they'll bring here on Saturday, because I love watching them play, and I hope they play with that free spirit.
Laura spoke about this opportunity being maybe a second chance for those guys that hope to make it into the NRL. Realistically, what are the chances that young guys at that age might get?
Well, I hope they believe that, because that's a truism, I think, and there are chances in your life that go by and you miss them, and the young men that come into, for a lot of them to come from their communities to come to Sydney or Brisbane or wherever, and then the discipline that's required to play in the NRL, I'm sure it blows them away. And and I'm sure I've seen lots of them come to the Broncos in my time, particularly, and not lots of them, but certainly maybe 5 or 6 I can think of that just couldn't handle it. Steve Renouf, we managed to get him through. He's a classic example. He struggled with it enormously initially, and we wouldn't have seen that wonderful player that he turned out to be. So I hope there's 2 or 3 of them here on this weekend that can show us how really good they are, and are mature enough now to come back and be able to handle playing in the NRL and being part of a club.
Keeping with that theme, Travis Waddell, he, I guess, had a bit of a checkered period with the last season. He's in the full off-season now. Can you give us an update on how he's been?
Look, he's been right on his game. His training form's been great. He got cut from the Raiders there 12 months ago, and we used him a little bit last year, as you all know now. But he's been in full-time squad, and he's been great, and he's outstanding. And I really like Travis. I think he brings a lot as well, and he's a little bloke, but he's a tough little bloke, and I like what he brings.
Without Danny there now, obviously, if he's fit, Kurt's going to be the first choice number 1. There's an opportunity for Travis and a kid like Adam Clydesdale to play that backup role.
Absolutely, and Kurt's at the end of his time. He's not going to play another 5 or 6 seasons, so those boys will, and so that's what we're getting them ready for the future as well. So some of the present and some of the future.
How does Clint Newton feel being back in a Knights Tuesday?
I'll ask him; he'll tell you. He talks it up pretty good, so I'm sure. Look, he's been wonderful at training again. I like what he brings, and he's got a bit of fun about him, and but a really good pro. And just get him off the physio table, I'd be happy.
When you had some of the Goannas in the club with you this week, training with the guys, you didn't give away too much, did you?
No, well, they didn't come to our place actually. I don't know what happened there, so I didn't see anybody there. They snuck in. I didn't see them, but.
Has Clint put his hand up to captain the boys with Tyron's off?
Oh, of course he would. I had to talk him out of that. I had him captain the Nines, but then he realised I was geeing him up. So, yeah, but he'll be ready to take the rein.
On the Nines squad, I mean, it's I guess an unknown entity for all the clubs. You've named a fairly strong side with Mullen and all the regular internationals and rep players, so it does take it seriously.
Yeah, we are. Well, I mean, there's a lot of money going to this competition. There's a lot of people taking a risk with it, you know. So the least we can do is, once we're in, we might as well do it properly. So, yeah, picked a strong squad. I think anyone that's missing, just guys with injuries, or Darius's case had a long season. Just making sure he's going to be right to start the season for us.
Have you guys done anything yet, or are you doing specific for that format?
No, our priority is the start of the season, but we will next week. We go to New Zealand early, and we'll got a couple of sessions over there, so that'll be a bit of Nines training session over there. But up until then, we won't be doing anything.
Have you got anyone in mind to sign in replace of Russell?
No, look, I want a quality player to come to the club. I don't want some journeyman. Okay, so I'm confident enough with what I got there. It'll challenge them a little bit more, but that's. The challenge won't hurt them, and I just don't want to pick up a player that's been to 3 or 4 clubs and, on that list of, just another club type thing. So we'll be patient, and hopefully we can pick up a good one in the next 12 months somewhere.